Hello and welcome to the Culture Swally, a podcast dedicated to Scottish news and pop culture. My name is Nicky, and I'm joined as always by the man who is loaded up on Papa Smurfs and ready to go. It's Greg. How are you today, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I'm all good. Have you been up to anything exciting?
No, but I'm off to Comic Con in Abu Dhabi tomorrow with my daughter number 2. She wants to pay £100 to stand in line to meet Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things, who plays, I've not seen Stranger Things for ages, can't remember the character's name, the little reporter, the black hair. What's her name again in Stranger Things?
I cannot remember either. I know, it's been so long since I've seen it either. I know exactly who you mean, and her name's gone from me. It's Will's.
Yeah.
No, it's not Will's sister.
Will's brother's girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very good. Anyone else exciting appearing?
Charlie Cox of Daredevil's there. Andrew Garfield, former Spider-Man, is also there. Who else is there? Some Japanese anime people that I don't know. I think Vincent D'Onofrio is there as well. He plays a kingpin in Daredevil.
Yeah.
In order to have something for Natalia to sign, my daughter asked me to pick up the Stranger Things Series 4 record yesterday for her.
Oh, okay.
Because it comes with a poster. It's got some pretty good songs on it as well. It's not. I thought it might be like the score, but it's not. It's obviously Kate Bush is on there. That song, "Burning Up That Hill," being like a big sort of theme of the series, and some other bangers as well. So I might be giving that a spin later today.
Oh, nice. Oh, that'll be good. You can have a listen to that. Oh, cool. Oh, that'll be very exciting. Yeah, I haven't been to anything like that a very long time. Like queuing up, I always feel a bit awkward when you're meeting someone like that.
I've never done it.
I don't know what to say. And the only time I've ever done it was at
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, yeah. I got to meet Paige and Seth Rollins and got their autograph and had a chat with them, and it was just, I don't know, it was fucking awkward.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like I've met a few famous people in my time, and I haven't been very cool at all.
Yeah.
You know, like I met John Cleese at Mar Hall in Glasgow, and I just got the distinct feeling that he just could not wait to get away from me. Which I don't blame him. I mean, but he probably gets idiots like me coming up to him all the time going, "Oh, I'm a big fan of yours, Mr. Cleese," and blah, blah, blah. He's just trying to go and get his dinner or something like that, you know. So, but I've never queued up to meet anybody. Tomorrow will be my first time. I don't really want to. It seems a bit tight leaving her standing in line by herself, because it could be a couple hours. So I'll keep her company. I don't think it'll be a couple hours. I think they'll probably manage it quite quickly, you know.
Yeah.
I think maybe the Charlie Cox and Andrew Garfield lines will be quite long. If I ever met Vincent D'Onofrio, I'd probably just want to talk to him about Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. What was it like working with Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Was he as much of a cunt as people say? Are you as much of a cunt as people say you are? Because I heard an interview with Andrew McCarthy talking to Bret Easton Ellis, and he said that you are a proper cunt.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go down really well.
Security!
At least it'll be memorable and not people asking about Kingpin and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously I'll always have my eye open for people selling G1 Transformers, but I'm not holding out much hope, to be honest, here in the Middle East for that.
I think people appreciate it when you mention something not, specific in terms of so everyone's going to be asking them about Daredevil. If you did mention something random,
Men in Black.
For example, Men in Black. For example, you saw the joy on patron saint of the Swally, James Cosmo's face when he did that video for you, and rather than saying Game of Thrones, he got to say that he got to beat Matt Costello around in Taggart. And he was delighted. He was delighted. It's like no one mentions that, and it's just something a bit different. So I think it's always good if you can come out with something left field when you're meeting someone famous or speaking about their work or something.
Especially someone who's had such a long career, because he's been around for a long time, Vincent D'Onofrio, and obviously Cosmo's been around for even longer, So I'll have to put the Cosmo action figure picture up on the Instagram for everybody. I'll maybe put it up in a kind of midweek just to keep interest up in the last episode.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I was like, well, have I waited too long to do this? Because the trend's kind of over now. But hey, we're hardly social media butterflies, so it's okay to jump on the bandwagon a bit later. It's fine.
I have some marketing people who work for me, and they keep, they keep engaging agencies to put these posts on that are following trends, and I'm just like, and I guess I'm a bit kind of curmudgeonly, because I always think of, well, if it's a marketing message, what are we trying to sell here? What's the call to action? You know what I mean? And there's not really any call to action in these posts. They're just trends that, so I said to my daughter that you have to help me here, because, in my head, we're just spunking money up the wall on this bullshit that is not going to drive people toward the business. And she's like, no, that's all over. That trend's all over TikTok at the moment. And I don't have TikTok on my phone because it takes up too much memory.
Yeah, it's like a gigabyte or something.
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm very much the same as you. I think curmudgeonly, when I first saw the first of those action figures, I was like, oh, that's really cool. I need to do that. And then after about 3 days, it was all I kept seeing. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. I'm over this now. I don't want to do it. And then I was bored one afternoon, so I did the Cosmo one. And then obviously, did you, mutual friend, and myself. So, but won't be getting shared anywhere. So... never mind. Maybe the Cosmo one. Maybe we'll put that up.
Yeah, harmless, the Cosmo one.
Wonderful. Right, well, I hope you have an amazing time at Comic-Con. My ass is going to be parked on the sofa pretty much all weekend because it's WrestleMania.
It is.
So I'm excited about that. So we'll see.
Netflix's first WrestleMania, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. Let's see what happens there. So very good. Right.
The Drew McIntyre interview on the Phil Neville podcast. He's like, can I swear at this? I'm like, yeah, you can swear. I'm going to kick his cunt in.
That's brilliant. I love that. Just be saying, let's just go with the worst word we can possibly say. I wonder if that would be beeped, actually.
It was beeped on the podcast. It was beeped on the pod, yeah.
I have noticed that on some pods when they say that word. They'll say much anything, but when the C word's dropped, it gets beeped. And I know ITV got into quite a bit of trouble because Mickey Rourke dropped the C-bomb before he got ejected from the Big Brother house. So, that was, I think that's the only word you can't say on ITV, apparently, by all accounts.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay. Right. Shall we have a look at what's been happening in Scotland over the last couple of weeks?
Cue the jingle.
Hello. This is the Outer Hebrides Broadcasting Corporation, and here is what's been going on in the news.
Okay, Greg, what have you seen first in the news that you'd like to share with me and our lovely listeners?
Well, I think this one's right up our street. This one comes from Glasgow Live on the 16th of April, which is a couple of days ago now. Rod Stewart's doppelganger spotted working on road in humorous video leaves viewers in stitches. The rocker's double, known as Rod Stewart, was seen in high-vis overalls standing beside a highway response vehicle earlier this month. The side of the road was cordoned off with traffic cones as the worker, sporting the iconic spiky blonde hair reminiscent of the Maggie May singer, stood by looking bemused. A video clip captured this amusing scene, set to the soundtrack of Sir Rod's hit "Do You Think I'm Sexy?" has taken social media by storm, racking up over 1.5 million views on TikTok. The footage came with a witty caption, "It's Rod Stewart," sending social media into fits of laughter. Comments poured in, with Alan O'Donovan quipping, "Roadside assistance." Another chimed in with the first pothole's the deepest. Very good. Very, very good. While Dan joked, "Paving, we are paving." Billy Fleming made a playful nod to Rod's classic tune with, "This old road of mine been tarmacked 1,000 times." Lisa chimed in, noting a recent post about the actual Rod Stewart filling potholes in his local area, questioning, wait, I saw a post the other day that actual Rod Stewart has been filling in potholes where he lives. Are you sure this isn't him? Back in November 2022, the real Rod surprised his followers by posting videos of himself tackling potholes near his residence. Sir Rod, a passionate Celtic FC supporter, won't hold that against him, took it upon himself to tackle the deplorable road conditions outside his residence, donning his Celtic tracksuit and high visibility vest for the task. In a video, the singer explained that the road was in such a dire state that an ambulance had suffered a burst tyre and his Ferrari was unable to navigate it. Undeterred, Sir Rod, accompanied by friends and a truck loaded with gravel, set about repairing the potholed road surface. He wryly remarked that he was taking matters into his own hands since nobody had been bothered to do it. This proactive endeavour comes on the heels of an intriguing incident in which a suspicious individual, bearing an uncanny resemblance to Sir Rod, was spotted roaming gardens in Falkirk. The mysterious lookalike, captured on Ring doorbell footage, emerged from a white van and seemed to be casing homes in the village of Reading. However, upon noticing the camera, the doppelganger hastily retreated to his van and drove away. So there we go. Sir Rod has responded in a humorous response.
Oh, brilliant.
He said, "No, it's definitely not me. I wouldn't be seen dead in that clobber."
Oh, Jesus.
Sir Rod has recently made a monumental declaration about his career, pledging never to retire, a revelation that sent his devoted fan base into a state of euphoria. Getting a bit carried away there, this journalist, I think. The 80-year-old music legend took to Instagram, sharing an iconic snapshot of himself commanding the stage in his signature leopard print jacket and pinstripe trousers. "I shall never retire. I was put on this earth to be a singer and will keep doing it for as long as the good Lord lets me," Rod proclaimed to his 1.5 million followers. So there we go. He's going to play at Glastonbury this year, Sir Rod, 23 years after the last time he was there. So,
have you ever seen Rod Stewart live?
I have not. No, I take it you have you?
Yeah, I saw him in Dubai,
Oh.
funnily enough, supported by Spandau Ballet. It was a fucking great concert. Absolutely brilliant night.
Full Spandau lineup?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow,
Full
cool.
Spandau lineup. Yeah, it must have been 12, 13 years ago now.
Cool.
Maybe longer than that, actually.
Yeah.
But it was, full Spandau lineup. And then Rod Stewart. That was really good. Yeah.
I like the story that, because it does seem like a good egg, Rod Stewart, generally speaking. And I like the story that Cunt on The Acceptable in the 80s told about when he was waiting outside the Chippy in Essex and Sir Rod popped out and he managed to persuade Rod to sign the paper that his fish and chips was wrapped in. He was happy to do it. It's, Ferrari idling at the side of the road while he nips in to get a couple of suppers.
I'm glad he responded to that as well, because he does seem like a good egg. Like you say, the famous one is that image of like a cottage with a thatched roof, and someone tweeted him, and he just replied, "Fuck's sake!" Yeah. And of course, he will always be immortalised of him being pissed doing the Scottish Cup draw.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I'd forgotten all about that. That was brilliant.
Absolute legend. So, despite the fact he's a massive Celtic fan, I've got a lot of time for Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
I do. And he comes up for the Scotland games and stuff as well. I think he says that his dad was Scottish, I believe, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he does feel a strong bond to Scotland.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that was old Sir Rod Stewart there. You can always count on Scottish social media to deliver some absolute bangers. What is your first story this week?
My first story, it's also regarding Scottish icons, and it's from the Daily Record this week. It's about the UN seeking to establish, they're effectively compiling like definitive lists of cultural gems from around the world. So the article looks at what is it that makes us Scottish, from the ridiculous to the sublime. The slosh, the roll and square sausage, and even Edinburgh's New Year's Day Looney Duke are all in line to become official UN symbols of Scottish culture. This isn't an April Fool, by the way. Government ministers are seeking to harvest ideas for the things, no matter how daft or obscure, that set Scots apart from the rest of the UK and the wider world. A list of suitable candidates for the inventory of living heritage have been provided by the UK government, which include the Scottish Wedding Scramble,
Right.
Shetland's Up Helliah Festival, and haggis hurling, a staple of Highland games. The cultural troll has been sparked by the UK government's move last year to join UNESCO's Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. My God, I'm glad we're recording this in the morning and not after I've had a few beers. Say that. The global heritage body will compile a catalogue of things from the worlds of art, literature, sport, social customs, food, all of which will capture the quintessential essence of Scottishness. Guidance from the UK's government's Department of Cultural, Media and Sport details how the aim is to dig deep into the quirky gems of the nation. They state, UK government want communities to dig deep and nominate the practices that demonstrate what it truly means to be Scottish, from line dancing the slosh at a Scottish wedding to rustling up Granny's favourite tablet recipe, or indulging in every Scot's favourite weekend breakfast, a roll on square sausage. I beg to differ. Examples in Scotland could include Hogmanay celebrations, Shetland's Up Helliah January Fire Festival, or the common ridings that take place in the Borders every summer.
The common what?
The common ridings that take place in the Scottish Borders every summer. I presume that's where they ride commoners, because the Borders are quite posh, aren't they? So maybe they just get their servant and ride them round the Borders,
right, maybe.
Don't know, and then watch some rugger.
I thought they were just taking advantage of the good weather, you know.
Riding on the common. I don't know. Need to look that up, actually, and see what that is. There's room for traditional things like kilt making or the Burns Night Address to the Lassies to be recognised, but also scope for more off-the-wall customs, like haggis hurling or a scramble at a wedding. That's a great thing, a scramble at a wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
East Coasters may want to nominate Edinburgh's Looney Duke, or West Coast Islanders could throw in blackenings, where bride and grooms are to be covered in soot, treacle, flower and feathers ahead of their nuptials by their nearest and dearest. Despite a clear focus on capturing new cultural phenomenon, the door remains open for some classics, which could include whiskey, shortbread, iron brew, porridge, Cayleys, bagpipes, haggis and Ben Nevis. Deep-fried Mars bars and buckfast may also be suggested, but that might not be quite what the UNESCO are after. Areas that might offer cultural diamonds to be immortalised include oral expression, which covers songs, stories and poetry. Don't get too excited, Greg. Music festivals like Celtic Connections, where we saw Wild Rose perform, which was unfortunate, or Belladrum could also feature, and many will no doubt wish the Edinburgh Festival to be enshrined. And Nature, Land and Spirituality category opens the door to a universe of options from island hopping to mountain climbing and whale spotting. Sport will also feature. We want to include things that represent our uniqueness and sense of humour and pride in our country. A respect for our age-old traditions will be covered, but that too should what's important to us in modern Scottish life. It all ties in with our commitment to brand Scotland, celebrating everything about Scottish life and promoting Scotland globally. So the Daily Record have come up with 7 wonders of Scottish culture, and they've all been mentioned. It's the slosh, rolling square sausage, the Looney Duke, Up Helliah, Wedding Scramble, blackenings, and haggis hurling. So have you got any suggestions of something that should be added into that?
So I guess sort of Scottish activity.
Calling someone a cunt?
Calling someone a cunt, yeah. I think I think it was mostly you, blackened our mutual friend in Madrid, kind of.
I mean, it wasn't really a blackening, was it? It was just a...
knelt on his head and sprayed shaving foam into his eyes.
I mean, I think my brother-in-law got a proper blackening and got stripped naked, covered in tar and feathers, and handcuffed to a roundabout in Dice.
I think he told me. I think he told me that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Like, you did used to see it though. Like on usually a Friday afternoon, you'd be driving or somewhere, and you would see someone tied to a lamppost covered in feathers. And people just beeping as they go past, like to congratulate them.
I've got a photograph of my papa, my dad's dad, my paternal grandfather, the day before his wedding. And it looks like he's been ambushed at his work. So he's still got his apron. He was an upholsterer, so he's still got his apron and everything on. And they've just sort of like tied balloons round his neck and put like a funny hat on him and stuff. It's obviously, as the years have gone by, it's kind of gathered momentum. Like when I lived in Maud in Aberdeenshire, if any of the kids found out it was your birthday, they would egg you on the way home from school, like egg and flour. Luckily for me, my birthday was always during the school holidays, so it never happened to me. But there was a few people it happened to all the time, and they would just sort of accept it. You know what I mean? It's like, what
can you do?
You know, because if you run away, you just get it twice as bad the next day. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think they've gone with in terms of their suggestion of the generic things that when you read the list, you're like, oh, really? But I guess that is what defines Scotland: whiskey, shortbread, iron brew, porridge, Cayleys, bagpipes, haggis, and Ben Nevis.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're going to be represented by something, there are all good things to be represented by, you know?
Bloody good list, to be honest. I'm quite happy about that, yeah.
I'm thinking of having a burn supper here next year, and I just know who I want to invite. So I want to invite people that will appreciate it, but I could probably get like a haggis. There's butchers here that would import a haggis, and I could do it quite easily. Bit of whiskey on a school night, but it's just who do I invite to who I think is gonna appreciate it. You know,
you want someone that's going to not take the piss and appreciate the heritage and culture.
I want someone who's going to be interested in the sort of ritualistic aspects and cultural aspect of it. You know, I like the idea of reading the address to the haggis at the table before I cut it open and all that. You know, and maybe throwing a wee bit of burns at them now and again. You know. Yeah, no, I think they have a very respectable list of things there. Not sure about a dad. Tenant super, maybe.
I was going to say tenants should really be added to the list, definitely.
Yeah. So the Lager Lovelies as a sort of, maybe not modern heritage, but heritage of a bygone era when it was acceptable.
It's definitely something that should be... what's the word I'm looking for here? Sort of retained and, upheld as a cultural icon of our times, the Tennent's Lager Lovelies.
Yeah, exactly.
Get mentioned quite a lot in this podcast.
Absolutely.
Because we have fond memories of them.
The cornerstone of playgrounds up and down the country on a Monday morning before the Janny had a chance to get round and collect them all.
A slightly rusted Tennent's can with a Lager Lovely on it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Yeah, the cans used to rust a lot quicker back in the day, didn't they? But I guess they were made of different materials.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Made of highly toxic metal as opposed to the aluminium that they're made from now.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, let's see what comes up on that list. I think James Cosmo should be added to the list.
Cosmo should be on there. Yep.
Yeah.
Modern.
Rod Stewart. And the Crankies.
Yeah, Crankies.
Yeah.
It's just you mentioning blackening reminded me of something. When I was leaving Frankie and Benny's in Aberdeen to move back to Glasgow, somebody had left the week before. And on his last shift, they took him out at the back. They strapped him to a chair and soaked him with a hose. And I knew that they were planning on doing that to me. And I was like, fuck that. They are not doing that. So as soon as I was finished, I just slipped out. So I'm halfway up the Beach Boulevard on my way home. And do you remember Shane, the Irish fella who was in there? So him and a couple of guys come pulling up in his car to try and drag me into the car, right? To take me back and do it. Shane's got cable ties to try and something. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing with cable ties, you fucking creepy sex pest?
Doesn't surprise me, actually.
I got a shovel and a blanket in the boot of his car as well.
I was just thinking about him the other day.
Oh, really?
Actually. Well, I was getting a head start and making clips for Best of the News 2025, which will come out in January, but I'm getting a head start. And it was you were telling the story of Pizza Pooch again.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody did a whole shift wearing the Pizza Pooch shoes.
Yeah,
and I was like, I bet that was Shane. But
it
was
wasn't.
it?
No, it was. No, he would have done that. It was. It was the boss's brother, a guy called Gavin.
Oh, okay.
The last time I saw him, my friend Scott Ironside, who is in One Day Removals, that we're still not done. We have to get it done soon. He was doing some stand up in what used to be Punana. I was up in Aberdeen for work, and me and some friends went to see him, and Shane happened to be there. So it was a really good night of like, it was sort of like a competition. I think there was like a spot at the festival or supporting somebody up for grabs. So we saw maybe about a dozen comics, varying standards. Some were very, very good. Some were absolutely fucking dreadful. And Shane was there. So afterwards, we're having a drink with Scott. Then Shane starts telling this like outrageous lie about when he used to do stand up at Seasons at Aberdeen Union in the afternoon. And I was just like, I'd had a couple of drinks and I was like, no, you didn't. I said, because I remember when Seasons opened, when they opened that Seasons bar, I was at Aberdeen College, just round the corner, and and we were in there probably every day of the week because they had fruit machines that had £200 jackpots. So a lot of people's grant money went into those fruit machines. We were in there every day. I was like, you're a fucking liar. And he's like, no, I'm telling you. I said, well, you fuck. I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe you'd say that. And I've known him for like 15 years. And it was like the first time he'd ever mentioned being a amateur stand-up comic. I said, you weren't even a fucking student. How did you get into the union to stand up? Fucking lying cunt.
That's the best bit. You weren't even a fucking student.
He was working at Via Milano next to the Paramount then. Anyway.
Oh dear. Never mind. Okay, so yes, let's see what gets added to the UNESCO cultural list. Okay, Greg, what else have you seen this week?
So again, I think I've done the double this week in terms of just like the sort of story we had in mind when we set out on this podcast journey that we've been on for the last 5 years, almost 5 years. So this comes from Scottish Sun, the 15th of April. The headline is "Bricking It. I thought I was going deaf, but I had a Lego brick stuck in my ear for 20 years.
Jesus.
My doctor just sat in silence for a moment, genuinely dumbfounded." So this is Darren McConaughey from Glasgow. He had been to the doctor regarding hearing loss and he'd been prescribed antibiotics, assuming it was an ear infection. Pictures are fucking... Like, I don't want to make fun of Darren, but the pictures I've taken of him are absolutely brilliant. However, the 30-year-old later woke up in the middle of the night feeling a surge of pressure in the side of his head, and then, to his horror, he felt something dislodge inside his ear and start to move, and he couldn't have been prepared for what turned out to be the true root cause. Darren said, "I thought my ear had ruptured. The pressure kept building and building. It was unbearable. Then I felt something small and hard sort of pop out. I felt the object and realised it was loose. I thought it was a piece of my inner ear. I was absolutely terrified. But as I held a little object in my hand, using my phone torch in the dark, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. A tiny piece of pink Lego covered in wax. With the pain and pressure gone, and the sound back in his left ear, Darren's immediate relief turned to confusion. Darren, who was 24 at the time, said, I hadn't played with Lego for years. Not since I was a wee boy. I never really played with it after the age of 4 or 5. I much preferred wrestling figures or playing football with my brothers. Imagine they found an Ultimate Warrior like lodged in his ear, Hasbro. It must have been around the millennium when I last built anything with Lego. I don't remember sticking the brick in my ear. But however it got there, I reckon it was lodged there for the best part of 20 years. For most of my life, I had no problems with my hearing. That was only something that started when I got into my 20s. I genuinely had no clue it was in my ear all that time. A return visit to his local GP left the doctor speechless as Darren produced the children's play piece from his pocket and inquired as to whether that was the root cause of his hearing issue. Darren recalls, My doctor just sat in silence for a moment, genuinely dumbfounded. She told me it wasn't the first time she'd seen a piece of Lego in this circumstance, but it was the first piece she'd ever heard of that had been buried in someone's ear for so long. But from looking me over, she was confident there were no more pieces of Lego stuck in my head. Unsurprisingly, Darren's own family and friends thought he was in the wind-up after he produced the tiny Lego piece. Darren said, "In fairness, my brothers were actually great. They could tell I was in a lot of pain and actually went and got my prescription for me because I was so exhausted. But after just a few days of taking the medicine, the Lego popped out and suddenly I felt like I was in my own whodunit." My brothers enjoyed making a few jokes about the situation, and we all wondered who'd put it in my ear. I don't think I would have put a piece of Lego in my own ear. One of my brothers looked more sheepish than the others. And I can't say with absolute certainty that he didn't do it. Darren added, "My hearing today is actually very good, and usually I can hear things which other people can't." Like a dog. And sometimes I believe it might be down to the piece of Lego just clearing out all the gunk. I've kept a wee piece of Lego because I wasn't really sure what to do with it. It seemed a bit harsh to toss it in the bin after 20 or so years. It's like it's a part of me. Darren is speaking out now to raise awareness of Wells Pharmacy's new ear wax removal service, which has unveiled new technology which can suction ears to allow for the safe removal of earwax. Unlike traditional methods which rely on water irrigation, microsuction is a quicker and medically recommended procedure that provides instant relief. Oh, I really enjoyed that.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. 20 years, a bit of Lego stuck in his ear. And what I love about that is that he's got no idea how it got there in the first place.
Thinks his brother might have done
it. Yeah, well, he was looking sheepish, wasn't he? So I love that in terms of I've got my own whodunit. In terms of it was his brother in the kitchen with the Lego piece.
Yeah.
I've
just sent you the picture of Darren, honestly. It's the expression on his face. Have a look at your phone.
He looks bemused.
He does.
And it's like he looks very surprised and shocked and confused about what has just been removed from his ear. Having recently had ear infection, I can say it's not very fun, but I can imagine having something stuck in my ear for 20 years. Jesus.
No, it's just...
How do you not know?
It's just what he said. I hadn't played with Lego for years. Maybe playing the other day and just accidentally stuck a wee Lego stud in his lug.
I don't know how. I mean, the only thing I could imagine would be maybe if he's, I don't know, fallen on it or fallen asleep on Lego, and it's somehow worked its way in. But I guess maybe his brother did push it in and poke it in. I remember you would notice.
You'd think so, right? I remember when my sister was wee, she had a friend round to play, and they were playing with a Lego, and her friend, for some reason, you know the wee Lego flowers, like the wee sort of petal bit of it. She stuck one of them up her nose, and she wasn't able to sort of get it out. And she was only wee. I think she must have been about 4 or something. So my mum's a nurse. So mum was like, "Right, come on, I'll get it out for you." But she was crying every time she sort of sniffed. It was going further up.
Oh no!
So my mum had to get the tweezers into her nose and just gently pull it out like an operation, you know.
Oh dear.
The thing is, if it got all the way up her nose, she just have swallowed it. Her body would have rejected it eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have maybe, if she'd timed it well, it would have just come out her mouth. Or, it would have, come out the other end. Oh, well, wonderful. I don't think I've ever had anything stuck up my nose or in my ear. No, not that I can think of.
A big kid stuck a bit of chewing gum to my eyebrow when I was in the first year at secondary school. It took some of my eyebrow with it when it was removed. But yeah, I've never had anything stuck up my nose or my ear or anywhere. Anyway, thank you, Darren, for being on this planet, and that was the biggest laugh I've had in fucking ages, and I'm glad that you're feeling a lot better. So that was my second story. What you got for us next?
This isn't really a funny one, but I just thought it would spark maybe a bit of conversation and debate, possibly. This is from Glasgow Times this week, and it concerns a concert. Phones banned from Glasgow Hydro gig as fans warned. And Glasgow gig-goers will be banned from using their mobile phones during a concert at the OVO Hydro. Swedish rockers Ghost will perform at the venue on Wednesday, April 16th, so it's past, as part of their Skeletor World Tour.
Right.
However, before the event, the Hydro has reminded fans it will be a phone-free experience. This means the use of mobile phones, cameras, or recording devices will not be permitted in the performance space at the gig. Announcing the ban, the venue said upon arrival, concert-goers' phones will be secured in a Yonder pouch that will be opened at the end of the event. During the show, music fans will maintain possession of their device, but they will only be able to use them in designated phone use areas. The Hydro is also warned that anyone seen using a phone during the performance will be removed from the venue. A Yonder pouch is a lockable magnetic pouch designed to store mobile phones and create a phone-free space. OVO Hydro spokesperson said, "Please remember that Ghost's show next week is a phone-free experience. Upon arrival at the venue, all phones will be secured in Yonder pouches that will be opened at the end of the event." It's just repeating exactly what's just been said. Yeah, anyone seen using a mobile phone during the performance will be escorted out of the venue. Guests are encouraged to bring a bank or credit card for purchases inside the venue. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a phone-free viewing experience. Now, I was at a concert last night, and just the amount of phones. The woman next to me recorded, I think, the whole concert. And I think her phone battery died or ran out of space. And then she started using her boyfriend's phone to record the rest of it. And I'm like, are you going to watch that back? Like, what are you going to do with it? And just the amount of phones and stuff that were coming out and recording, and I'm just like, I took one photo, and it was literally just to send to you guys to be like, hey, look, I'm here, and that was it. My phone stayed in my pocket the whole gig, and I was guilty of it in the past, I think, taking videos and things, but now not so much because I want to enjoy the experience. I don't know, how do you feel?
I mean, I understand it completely. You know, like, I don't, like, the last big concert I went to was Guns N' Roses, and I did like film a couple of bits of songs that I liked, and I took a couple of photographs, but that was all. And the thing is, like, those videos now, they literally exist on the off chance that I have a conversation with somebody, we get talking about Guns N' Roses, I mention that I saw them in Abu Dhabi, do you want to see some pictures? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't go back and watch them again. You know, I think it's nice to have a couple of pictures as maybe like a memento of the gig. But to your point, you know, you don't want to be standing holding your phone up for all through a concert. You know what I mean? It's just that you're going to get a sore arm for one, and it's annoying for the person behind you. You know, and I think absolutely what you said, just like go and enjoy the experience of being there, like be in that moment. You know, instead of trying to preserve it for another time. It will never be the same.
Yeah, because we were standing, it was a kind of odd venue, but there was like a little raised bit, so we were stood there. And the girl next to me, there was a couple in front of her. They were kind of standing a little apart. So she was kind of filming through the gap. But then occasionally they would come together to have a little cuddle or whisper something. And she was like lifting the phone above them to continue filming. You're like, how can you be arsed with this? Don't know.
And wait, and realistically, what are you going to do with that? You're going to sit and watch the whole thing over again? I don't think so.
That's the thing. It was just struck me as a bit strange. But, you know, like I say, it was a case that, you know, looking around the room, there was phones out everywhere and people recording and, you know, they're fiddling about to try and get the good angle. And you're like, well, you're not enjoying the moment. You're not enjoying this song, really, are you?
No, I know. I remember when we went to Team Park. I remember you taking a few pictures, but I think it was only just the Wu-Tang Clan because we were quite near the front. So you were able to get a couple of good shots of the clan doing their thing. But I don't remember you taking pictures of anyone else when we were there. You know?
No, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was just have a disposable camera or something as well. You never took like a good camera, did you?
No, it would just been a disposable one. Yeah.
I don't know. People's behaviour at concerts is. Although the one thing that I will say, I remember at that Guns N' Roses when they played November Rain, and we were down near the front, and I looked up behind me, and everybody had their sort of phone lights on. So I guess it would be like the old days when people would like have their lighters up, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's quite cool. You know, it sort of adds to the performance. But yeah, I heard Susie McCabe talking about how people behaving at concerts on the Here Comes the Guillotine pod. And I've heard a few others. I've heard John Robbins talking about it on the Ellis and John pod as well. And yeah, some people do behave like fucking absolute fannies at gigs. They behave like they're the only ones there. These people are playing just for them and fuck everybody else. I remember my mum telling me her and my stepdad went to see the War of the Worlds album. So the Jeff Wayne who wrote it, they were doing like a live tour of it. Every now and again they'll tour it live, occasionally, like a sort of performance. And they went to see it in London at the O2, and Justin Hayward, who sings on the original, was performing the song he sings in the live performance as well. And my mother's like, honestly, this big fat woman sitting next to me when Justin Hayward came on, and she's just screaming, Justin, like she's at a fucking Beatles concert. I was like, all right, calm down. You know, she's like, and she's singing along to every word to every song, and she can't sing. And I was like, that's but generally what people do. When was the last time you went to like a concert, Mother? You know what I mean?
Oh dear. Well, yeah, I don't know how the concert went down and if people were upset at having to lock their phone away, but yeah, it is what it is.
Is there maybe a touch of, because I seem to remember, like before phones could record videos to the sort of quality that they've been able to do for the last 10 or 12 years, obviously, you weren't allowed to take any kind of recording equipment into a live performance. And you can't really stop, you know, I mean, it's with the best will in the world, the Hydro are not going to get every single phone, you know, especially if they're selling out. So I wonder if, is there a degree of maybe like the performers don't want their songs to be recorded live, or they don't want to be filmed or pictures taken and stuff? Because I know that was always quite a sensitive issue in the past, right?
I presume it is, the band that have declared this. So yeah, I think that is the case. I do remember reading about a concert a couple of years ago. I can't remember who it was. It was some big name, and they did exactly the same thing, but it wasn't for copyright issues. It was because they wanted people to enjoy the concert, and they were fed up of looking out to just a sea of phones. And
I heard that as well, actually. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was though, but yeah, I think it's I don't know,
fair
it's
enough.
Just
isn't it?
one of those things. I think it's fair enough. I mean, hey, if you like to go to a concert and you want to film it, that's up to you. But yeah, I don't think it's
no.
You paid all that money to go and
exactly.
see a band or artist, and just to watch it through your phone screen, you could just sit and watch it on YouTube effectively.
Exactly. And maybe that's the worry. Maybe the worry that people are sticking it up on YouTube and stuff. And maybe that's maybe it. I mean, I when my friend here used to work for one of the big cinema companies, my daughter and I got invited to a couple of premieres, like Middle East premieres. We went to see Black Widow, and we went to see The Suicide Squad, and we had to put our phones into one of those little pouches before they would let us in to sit down in case we filmed it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, oh well, fair dues.
Okay. Right. Have you seen anything else this week, Greg?
Nope.
Would you like to play a quick game?
I definitely would.
Well, since it is our 125th episode, I thought we'd play a quick game of Play Your Swally Right. So, Play Your Swally Right is just like Play Your Cards Right. It's higher or lower game, a point for everyone you get right, but you'll lose a point for everyone you get wrong.
Okay.
So, I'm going to give you the name of a Swally favourite, and you can tell me I'm going to tell you how many episodes they've been in the Swally.
Okay.
And I'll give you the name of another Swally favourite, and I want you to tell me if the number of episodes they've been in higher or lower. So, for example, if I say the Crankies, who have been in one episode, and then I said Gary Lewis, would you say higher or lower?
Definitely higher.
Higher, because he's been in 10 episodes of the Culture Swally. So, okay, let's stick with Gary Lewis at 10, all right? And I'll give you an easy one to start.
Okay.
So, Gary Lewis on 10. Now we've got Claire Grogan, the lovely Claire Grogan. is it higher or lower than 10?
Lower.
That is correct. Lower. Claire Grogan's appeared in 3 episodes of The Culture Swally. All right, so we've got 3 on Claire Grogan. Who's the next card? Oh, it's Bobby Carlyle. Bobby Carlyle. Higher or lower than 3 with Claire Grogan?
Lower.
You think Robert Carlyle has been in less than 3 episodes?
Trainspotting 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's lower.
Okay. No, Bobby Carlyle has been in 5 episodes of The Culture Swally. It'd be what? Trainspotting 2, Looking After Jojo.
Oh, yeah, cunt.
Barney Thompson. And what else? He was in something else. Because he's got 5 appearances. Can't remember what the 5th one is. But yeah, he's been in...
That's annoying.
Okay, so you've lost a point there. So you're on 0 again. Okay, Bobby Carlyle is on 5 appearances. Next up, Ford Kiernan. Ford Kiernan of Chewing the Fat fame. Higher or lower than 5?
Chewing the Fat, the Billy Connolly one with the wee fella out of Small Faces, name of which I've forgotten. Still game. Lower than 5.
Ford Kiernan has been in 8 episodes of The Culture Swally, Greg. We did Deer Green Place. We did what was the Field of Blood? 2 series of that.
Of course.
Yeah, he's been in quite a few things as old Ford Kiernan. And he popped up in a couple of other little things, in just like a little role. There was something, what was it? We did something big that he was in. I really should have got the Swally tally up for this, right? Anyway.
It was in a
Ford Kiernan.
It was in a Billy Connolly one.
He was, yeah. Was that the Debt Collector?
Debt Collector.
Yeah. Okay. Ford Kiernan on 8. Okay. Next up, Jonathan Watson.
Right,
Jonathan Watson, higher or lower than 8?
Come on, Craig. Come on.
Come on. Come on. Johnny Watson.
You're better than
higher
this.
or lower?
You're a good quizzer. You're letting yourself down here. Let me think. So Johnny Watson has been in Naked Video. He's been in City Lights. He's been in Two Doors Down. Naked Video, Two Doors Down. Been in...
Did only an excuse.
Bob Servant. Only, so that's 5.
Servant. I think he was in Scotch and Rye. Was he as well? Or was he?
Yeah, possibly.
He was in that film. Was it Let Us Pray?
Let Us Pray.
He was in that Guilt Series 3, wasn't he?
I'm going to say higher.
Jonathan Watson has appeared in 13 episodes of The Culture Swally, Greg. So come on, we've got a point there. I'll give you a point for that. All right, 13. Okay. Next up, look who it is. It's Matt Costello. Matt Costello.
Higher.
Shockingly, Costello's been in 12 episodes of The Culture Swally.
Oh, no, really?
I thought it would be higher as well, but no, 12 episodes for Costello. So you've lost a point there, so you're back on 0. All right, Costello, 12. That's a high one, though.
Yeah.
So let's go with Jamie Sives next. Jamie Sives, higher or lower than 12 appearances on the Swally?
Lower.
Lower is correct. He's appeared 6 times on The Culture Swally.
So Gil,
okay.
Wild Rose, Rob Roy, yeah.
I think, well, we did... 3 series of Guilt, and then we did Wilbur Wants to Kill Himself,
that was it,
Wild Rose, and then the
Rob Roy.
Rob Roy, yeah. Okay. All right, Jamie Sives on 6. Next up, it's Barbara Rafferty. Barbara Rafferty. Is she higher or lower than 6?
So Rab C, The Wicker Man, I'm going to say lower.
Barbara Rafferty has been in 7 episodes of The Culture Swally, Greg. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Oh, dear. Yes. 7 episodes, yeah, she's been in. She's been in quite a few little
small
roles
parts
as well. Yeah. Small
right.
parts where she just pops up. Been in quite a few things. Okay, Barbara Rafferty on 7. Next, Brian McCarty. Brian McCarty. Higher or lower than 7 appearances?
McCarty. I'm going to say lower.
Brian McCarty has been in 6 episodes of The Culture Swally, Greg. So yes. All right. Last couple that we have here. Patron saint of The Culture Swally, Sir James Cosmo. Higher or lower than 6?
Higher.
James Cosmo has been in 9 episodes of The Culture Swally.
Only 9?
We need to rectify that.
Yeah.
Only 9.
Wow.
Only 9. Can you believe it? Yeah, Cosmo's only been in 9, so we need to rectify that. And finally then, higher or lower than 9, he was a big favourite early doors. We haven't done anything for a while. Dave Anderson.
Oh, I think it's Alex Norton. Dave Anderson. I think he has been, I'm going to say higher than Cosmo.
Correct. He's been in 10 episodes of The Culture Swally.
Only just higher. Was that 3 points then?
Yeah, 3 points. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, and that
better.
concludes Player Swally Right. Yeah, I watched an episode of Play Your Cards Right to just get the gist, and it was a Scottish couple that were on it. He was wearing his kilt.
Did he win?
I didn't watch to the end.
Oh.
So I watched it to get the gist of higher or lower, and then I forgot they have to answer questions, and then they get to go, and then I was going to do I did have Gerard Kelly on 6 as well, and I was going to give the nothing for a pair, not in this game. But then I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, so I'll just leave it. So, but yes, there we go. So you need to brush up on that, Greg. Play your Swally Right.
It's been 125 episodes, and
I know
there's been a few examples of my cognitive decline this week, but I thought I was just tired.
Yeah, I was quite shocked as well. Yeah, Ford Kiernan, 8 that he's been in. Yeah. At the top, though, I didn't include the top 3, which maybe I should have done at the moment. So in third place, we have Peter Mullen. He's been in 14 episodes of Culture Swally. Second place is Alex Norton, who has been in 15 episodes of the Culture Swally. And out in front, on his own, 16 appearances in 125 episodes, Greg, for Stephen McCall. So there you go.
Maybe he needs to be the new patron saint of the podcast.
Possibly. Stephen, if you're listening, we're open to offers. We have a rotating patron saint. But yeah. No, we can't do that to Cosmo. But
No.
Stephen McCall in everything Scottish. Right, that concludes Player Swally Right. Yeah, that's right, Player Swally Right.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go on to what we're going to be talking about today, let's have a little word from our sponsors.
Give yourself a big treat. A trip to the famous Glasgow Barras. Treat the whole family. It was always great, and now it's better than ever. Talk about bargains, talk about choice, talk about entertainment. You'll be talking about it for weeks. The Barras are better.
Okay, Greg, so it was your choice of what we're going to be talking about today. So why don't you tell us what we're going to be discussing for the next hour or so?
So I went for it's a good age, this drama now. We're going back to 2016 with the BBC 4-part mystery miniseries One of Us. When it was on Netflix as Retribution. Sadly, it's been removed from Netflix. It was removed a couple of years ago. I'm not sure why. It is out there. You can find it. If you want to go the honest route, it is on the Apple Store.
It's on BBC iPlayer as well.
And BBC iPlayer. There you go. Two honest routes. It sports an all-star cast, including Laura Fraser, John Lynch, Julie Graham, Swally favourite Joanna Vanderham, Gary Lewis, and making his second appearance on the Culture Swally in as many episodes, young Christian Ortega. Neighbouring families, the Douglases and the Elliots, lives are turned upside down after daughter Grace Douglas and son Adam Elliott are brutally murdered. A man arrives at their homes in the middle of the night, in the midst of a storm, who appears to be the killer. The grieving families become involved in a murder conspiracy after the man is found dead. So before we start, this is very much a whodunit. I don't know if it's up there with the mystery of who put the Lego in Darren's ear, but it will keep you guessing until the last episode. So if you want to watch it before you hear us talk about it, then stop now, go and find it and come back to us, because we will obviously give the game away in the midst of our conversation. So this was neither of us had seen this before. It kind of passed us by. I was living out here when it was on. You were living out here as well when it was first shown in 2016. Quite a traditional whodunit, really. I thought, big cast. Sort of kind of Agatha Christie vibes, big cast, everybody having motives of their own. Anybody could have done it. How did you enjoy One of Us / Retribution?
I did enjoy it. I did. I'm a sucker for 4-part or shows like this where it's just the story's concluded. I did enjoy it. It's quite tense to watch because it's just full of people who just seem to be making wrong decisions.
Yeah.
And just like fucking things up. Exactly like you said, I did like, because I think around about this time, there would have been a trend for, I was thinking about shows like The Fall or Happy Valley.
Yep.
That very much, you know, at the beginning who the bad person is, who the criminal, who the killer, rapist, murderer is, and you're effectively, you know, it's almost like using a Columbo method. You know what's been done and you're watching how they get caught unfold. Exactly as you said, this has just gone with a traditional kind of Agatha Christie setup. It's a remote setting, set of characters all with secrets and a killer lurking in their number. I thought the pacing of it was maybe a little bit off in terms of the first episode's a bit bonkers, like, because a lot happens and it's quite chaotic. There's a lot going on. You're trying to get to know the characters. You're trying to work out what's going on. And then I thought the middle two episodes were just kind of a bit filler. And I guess it was helping us get to know the characters a little bit better. And then the last episode is just batshit crazy and just, you know, goes with wrapping everything up. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was well done. What I actually liked about it was that none of the characters were particularly likable. Like, they all had I thought, some sort of element that you dislike them. And you didn't kind of latch on to anyone and think, oh, it might be him or it might not be them. But at the same time, I didn't feel a connection with any of them either, which I thought wasn't a great thing. Kind of missed that. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. What about you? What did you think about it?
I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I 100% agree. I think the second episode for me, the first episode was good. You know, sets the story up, sets the scene. We meet all the characters, we learn a little bit about each of them, and then I thought the second episode was a wee bit slow. But I thought by the time I got to the end of the third episode, I couldn't wait to watch the fourth. You know what I mean? Because of that, because I didn't have it figured out. I thought I did at one point, and then I clearly didn't. So of the families, on the Elliot side, we've got Claire, played by Joanna Vanderham, who plays DS Man Drummond on Crime, who Nikki and I both like a lot. There is Rob Elliott, played by Joe Dempsey, who used to be in Skins, and lots of other things, and Louise Elliott, played by Juliet Stevenson. And then the neighbouring Douglases is Bill Douglas, played by Irish actor John Lynch, Moira, played by Julie Graham, Jamie, played by Christian Ortega, and then there's Alistair, Gary Lewis, who seems to be a sort of handyman worker on the Douglas's farm, who's involved as well. And then the police people who are investigating, there's Laura Fraser, who plays Juliet, and Steve Yvetz, who plays, what's his name, the character again? Why have I not written it down? Andrew. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of little subplots going on. Some of them connect in to the story. Particularly, it turns out that Alistair, played by Gary Lewis, and Moira, played by Julie Graham, are having a clandestine sexy affair. That sort of ties in later on. There's the whole subplot with the old lady in the home that Claire works in, who wants to commit assisted suicide. And then there's the plot of the drugs, the acid tabs that Laura Fraser has stolen from evidence to sell to a drug dealer in order to pay for a life-saving operation for her daughter. So there's a lot going on, which, you know, like some of those subplots become a wee bit tiresome when you realise that they're not connected to the main plot. And you just, you know, you kind of just want to get to find out all the revelations and stuff. And there are revelations galore as the series goes on about the family. As you say, you know, the only one who is sort of nice and earnest, really, is Claire, played by Joanna Vanderham, who's trying to sort of get to the bottom of everything. Bill, start off thinking he's a good guy. Moira is playing away from home, So that, Rob has been in jail, I think we find before. His fiance, there's his fiance Anna as well, his girlfriend Anna, played by Georgina Campbell. She's also a suspect. And we find out that she's been raped before. And Rob's been a good guy supporting her, but he's obviously got issues. He's been stalking this rapist who seems to have gotten away with the crime and everything. So yeah, they're all, Laura Fraser obviously has broken the law as a police lady. Juliet Stevenson, who plays Louise Elliott, is an ex-alcoholic. And then bizarrely, we've got this Adrian Edmondson is in there, playing the estranged husband of Juliet, of Louise, in the Elliots, who, for his little storyline, I thought, why would you pay for somebody like Adrian Edmondson for that, for that part like that? I thought, when we see him in the wedding video at the start, and you just think, oh, he's going to be an integral part of this story. He's got something to do with blah, blah, blah. And then it doesn't even make it from London back to the north of Scotland, and throws himself into a lorry.
Yeah, it did seem a little bit strange to have him in there in that little part. I agree. Exactly as you've said, there are a lot of different storylines in this. I didn't think some of them were necessary, really. The whole Laura Fraser drugs storyline, I just didn't. Why? Was it just to show that she was corruptible and she's trying to pay for her daughter's operation? I don't know.
Well, I've got a theory about that. I wonder if there was a thought that this drama could maybe be a bit of a springboard for a series for that character,
Okay.
I thought maybe at one point before she sort of flees the country at the end, I wonder if they were thinking they would set this up and we'd have more stories with this character that Laura Fraser plays. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it though. Like, I just didn't feel the ending was satisfactory in terms of her storyline. Okay, so she's, just talk about it now. She's selling acid, LSD to drug dealers to pay for her daughter's life-saving operation that they have to go to Mumbai for. And effectively the dealer gets busted. I did like that she basically threatens to put child porn on his computer, so that he gets into, that was a nice little speech there, in terms of sort of saying, what they do to pedophiles in prison. But in the end, so she effectively flees. So she's off to Mumbai with her daughter to get the operation. Then what? Like, did Jay land her in it? Like, does Andrew obviously knows? Has he told anyone else? Like, she's just walked out in her job. Like, surely she can't come back to the country after this. Like, she's a police officer, so she can't just walk out. I just felt that ending was really unclear. In fact, it wasn't really a conclusion at all, like to that storyline. I just didn't get it. Or is it, is she then off to go to get the Operation Mumbai, and then does she move to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and team up with Walter White? Like, that's just a bit unclear. And she's, she obviously is good at her job and does care, because she's trying to get to the bottom of this investigation, but then also it just seems distracted. And the whole bit with the daughter's friend dying because she took one of the acid tabs, I'm just like, did we need this bit? And the same with the old dear, Meredith, who wants to end her life. Was that just to show Claire's compassion, or to show her at work, or just to give some other little storyline or setting? Didn't need that, I didn't think. I
kind of felt like it was there to show Claire's sort of moral quality. You know what I mean? Like, she starts off, she says no. She gets embroiled in this cover-up after the killer arrives on the farm. He rolls the car. When they realise who he is, somebody murders him. So Claire, against her better judgment, is kind of cajoled into being a part of this, sort of subverting the justice by burying the car and that in the garden. And then she's kind of like, okay, I will help you, because she sort of crossed that line already, but then she kind of comes back to who she was before when she tells Meredith that she's sorry, but she can't. You know what I mean? But I thought that I don't think it does a good job of sort of necessarily accomplishing that little arc for Claire, but I felt like that's what the intention of it was,
Because she's the one that discovers the dead body in the barn. And so you kind of think, okay, it's not her.
Yeah.
And you know it's not going to be her. But then she does, as you say, she's not kind of part of the body in the car being buried, but she does get rid of the knife that she's, the murder weapon that she thinks Rob had used because it was found in his room. So yeah, she does get rid of that in the bottom of the loch. And effectively, she's responsible for her dad walking into traffic because she spoke to him, and then the next thing is him walking in front of a lorry. And was she responsible for his death?
Well, I thought that he had heard. So I think I need to give the game away. So basically, we find out the Adam and Grace, it turns out, unbeknownst to themselves, are brother and sister because Moira had shagged Adrian Edmondson. So the suggestion is that Adrian Edmondson is Grace's dad as well as Adam's dad. And they didn't know. And Bill's found out. And he's told Adam. And Adam has gone through with the wedding, gone off on honeymoon, but obviously been tormented by what Bill's told him, and has been phoning his dad, who no one had spoken to for a long time because he'd abandoned the family. And obviously told the dad, who knew it was probably true because he knew that he'd been shagging Moira, so it was probably true, and couldn't live with it and threw himself in front of a lorry.
That's fair enough. Yeah, no, that works out. Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, I definitely will come back on to the ending later on, I think. But yeah, I think you're right in that Claire probably is the moral compass and the only kind of person that is okay in this. She's obviously dealing with work. She's dealing with the death of her brother. She's dealing with a creepy little kid who's stalking her and is reading her messages. And she's got a boyfriend, Sam, who's off doing something like
weird,
that was a weird plot as well. But I guess they needed that to show that he was kind of looking at her messages and stuff. And it just seemed a bit odd. And I guess that's how it gets revealed, and the police find out really kind of what was going on because she confesses to Sam via Facebook Messenger, and then Jamie sees it and sends it to the police because I don't know why he did that, but it was just
tired of the lies. Nicky, tired of lying to his mum about his dad having Parkinson's, tired of lying to his dad about his mum shagging Gary Lewis, tired of all the lies.
Just tired of everything. Yeah. I get that. I get it, how it could build up on him. What he needs to do is go to a rave and enjoy himself, and he should have had one of those LSD tabs. That would have been a little bit better. Maybe would have ended up good. Right, so you have the killer and ends up at the farm and has a car crash, okay? And you're like, right, how's he ended up here? And obviously it's slowly revealed. But how they find like the postcode in his pocket, but how are they convinced that he's the murderer?
They see him on the news.
It is the news. So yeah, but then it's obviously not, it's not 100% confirmed, but that seemed a little bit like, really? I don't think the news would report that without informing the victims' families first, would they? I don't know.
Probably not, but I guess you did a bit of poetic license so that bit of the story can play out. I suppose, maybe. Yeah. If at first they're taking care of the guy, what I mean? Because they find, he's injured, and then it's Rob who sees on the news that the police are looking for him in connection to the death. He's turned up at their house. I mean, they do jump to conclusions pretty quickly. Like, Rob beats the fucking living shit out of him after he tries to run away. Then, of course, he ends up getting his throat cut, and when he's in the kennel in the barn.
And of course they just decide the best thing to do is just cover this all up. Like, why? I just don't get it.
Why wouldn't you dig a deeper fucking hole? That's what I do. Well, do you know what I mean? There's like they're burying like a Lexus 4-wheel drive with someone in it, and he fucking digs a hole about 5 foot deep and just puts it, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because the car's basically sticking out from when the police just effectively have to disturb a little bit of soil, and there he is poking through the sunroof.
Hello.
He does seem a bit ridiculous. And you would think surely as well, like I know obviously it's a big bit of land that they have, but surely the police would still be kind of, they do say that the police will be there, and no one noticed or heard like this big JCB digging a huge hole and all these people like gathered round and driving cars and burying them. Nobody would notice that at all. Surely it would make a bit of noise unless this
Isolated.
plot of land is absolutely huge. And yeah, they are completely isolated.
I mean, they're a bit quick to turn into fucking master criminals, I noticed, like, because the car's on its roof, and they're like, oh, right, just put a sheet over it and then put some things up against it so it looks like it's been there for ages. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, fucking hell, like, they came at that, they formed that plan pretty fucking quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't get past Laura Fraser, who does say, like, there was a car here earlier, wasn't it? And it's like, oh yeah, it was just an old car, we got it scrapped. Yeah, because you're going to do that like a couple of days after your brother's died, aren't you? That's going to be one of the first things that is of concern, to get this car scrapped. So
there was a car when I was last here, under some tarpaulin on the left, just past the fork there.
Oh, Rob's. That was Rob's. Yeah, he took it to be scrapped. Just a piece of old junk, really. It's... Detective, what do you want?
I'm very sorry to have disturbed you.
We'll let you know if we get anything on Walsh.
yeah, a lot of the lies, a lot of things just didn't add up. I mean, kind of the big way that it's found out at the end is that Claire listens to a voicemail that Bill has on his phone. Yeah. Is he still going to have that voicemail stored on his phone? Really?
I mean, well, this is it. And he doesn't take his phone to church.
No.
He just
It's like he's at a Ghosts concert. He doesn't take his phone with him. No. So no, I don't think, because that's the opening scene when they're in the church and Moira's looking disapprovingly at Jamie because he's playing a game on his phone. So I think you're not meant to have your phone at church.
No,
definitely
not. Got to.
Because he is a very, very staunch religious man, is Bill. Very staunch. Like, he's very that way inclined of God's way. And that's why I think, because the kids were brother and sister, so it's the ultimate sin. But then he commits murder. So I don't know where it's kind of ambiguous there, the lines that he has.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, the beginning of the first episode when we see Adam and Grace who have been murdered, pretty brutal opening to the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it kind of, I have to admit, I did think like, oh, okay, we're in for a good one here. This is going to be, brutal and gruesome. But the one thing that really surprised me about this, and I don't need it, but I felt there was a distinct lack of swearing and a distinct lack of nudity, but not needed, but you know what I mean. But it felt a little bit out of place, like, especially the swearing. I felt the people wouldn't, the emotions are running high. There would be a lot more swearing involved. So I felt that was a bit unrealistic.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I suppose it's on the BBC at kind of prime time. BBC One, they can't have it too sweary, I suppose, can they? Or too sexy. Although, I don't think I had needed to see Gary Lewis on the Sturdies.
Yeah, I'm glad that was covered up. Yeah. We got the idea. We got the idea of what he was doing.
Yeah, the camera zooms in just in time for Alistair to put it up a gear,
Yeah, shocking revelation that Gary Lewis, keeping his Islands accent from... I'm trying to remember what it was we did recently that he had an Islands accent.
My son.
That was it, my son, yes. He still kind of had a little bit of a hint of that accent as Alistair, who, as you say, effectively the farmhand for Bill. And but he's shagging his wife. And his poor wife, Sal, played by Kate Dickie at home, she's the only one that actually kind of wins in terms of the show, because she gets to fuck off with the money and start a new life and buy a new wardrobe, as she says she's going to do, and gets to kind of stick it in before she leaves, because she just tells everyone about the affair and then off she goes. So she's the real winner out of this, isn't she?
I did wonder, the scene where Alistair comes home and she's sitting there bag packed waiting to confront him, to tell him that she's known for years and all this kind of thing. I thought, we're going to see her walking out to the car and Alistair's going to come running out the car, out of the house Fargo style with like an axe and get her in the back. You know what I mean? Like what happens to Steve Buscemi in Fargo. But he just sort of... And the whole thing with Alistair, we're led to believe that he's been working for Bill and the Douglases for a really long time, family friends and everything, and then he sort of switches to blackmailer pretty quickly, at Sal's sort of bequest, really, He comes home and tells her everything, and she's like, well, and he's right in there. Twice he tries to screw Bill out of money. And then it turns out he's shagging his wife and all that sort of stuff. And you're like, fucking hell, I thought Alistair was a good guy.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You do think he is a good character and a nice guy, and probably the one he comes across, the farmhand, but I guess in an Agatha Christie twist, he would kind of be the butler or something.
Yeah.
He's the nice guy that wants to do the right thing, and you think, when he comes home and he tells his wife, but no, turns out, when she says, what you've got to do, I thought, well, he's going to go with the police, surely. No, he's going to blackmail Bill for money.
What brings you here, Alistair? I gave you time off. I want more. More money. You came to me and asked me for what you were owed. I gave you what I had. Sorry. But I need the money. Sal and me.
So this is Sal's idea, is it? This is a woman who couldn't be bothered to send as much as a postcard when we lost wee Grace.
No, listen, we were just Sal and me were...
So this is what it comes to, is it, Alistair? This is what it boils down to. Huh? 30 years of friendship.
It's nothing I haven't worked for. You know that.
I'm not Peter Elliott. I'm not a weak man. And I'm not going to let you bleed me dry.
It is mental that you picked something with John Lynch in it, because just last week I was trying to remember the name of a show that I watched in 1991 on a Sunday evening, and it was a 4-part thing on ITV as well, so I'd have only been 10.
Right.
And I remember you will have watched it as well. It was called Chimera.
Oh, yes, with Charles Dance.
And it was about Chad, the half man, half monkey. And John Lynch was the lead in it. And it was when I was looking on IMDb, I was like, holy fuck, that was it. It was Chimera. Yeah. I just couldn't remember the name of it. But I remember that show.
I'm sure. I think Charles Dance was in it as well, wasn't he?
I think he was. Yeah. I think you might be right, yeah. So that was a cracking show. So it was just strange that I was just thinking about that last week, and then I'm sitting down and I'm like, John Lynch, I know, I've seen him in a lot of stuff. And then when I looked him up, I was like, holy shit, he was in Chimera. So very good.
I always remember him for being in the first George Best biopic that's just called Best, and he plays George Best. And I always thought to myself, he's too handsome to be George Best. John Lynch, I think. Do you know what I mean? He's like, and I don't know, like he sort of plays, he kind of plays George Best with a degree of dignity in that film that I'm not entirely sure is deserved.
I mean, I would have said George Best was a handsome man, like early days before booze ravaged him.
Not as good looking as John Lynch, though.
That's true. He is a very handsome man. Yeah, he certainly is a very handsome man. And he's great as Bill. Like, again, you think you're not sure what's going on with the character, but it turns out that he is also a wrong-un. But I thought he delivered a great performance in terms of the tension and trying to morally do the right thing whilst also dealing with Parkinson's and hiding it from his wife. And then you feel sorry for him when you find out that his wife is sleeping with Alistair, and getting blackmailed, and he's just trying to deal with all of this. And then turns out that effectively it was his Parkinson's that revealed the deep dark secret that and so he'd been sitting on that as well, knowing that his wife had he knew that already, didn't he? Because he does say that you slept with is it Adam Elliott? No, not Peter, Adam Elliott. Peter Elliott. Yeah. So he knew all about that, and so Moira was evidently quite a promiscuous woman, wasn't she? Like had an affair with Peter, Alistair. I wonder how many more there were.
Who knows? I mean, I really liked the twist, and they do sort of keep you guessing. There's this because Rob takes the blame. Right, when the police find the body of what's his name, Lee Walsh, the killer. Right, Rob takes the blame. He thinks he's protecting Anna because he thinks Anna's done it.
Yeah.
He knows he's not done it even after Claire confronts him with a knife, but he thinks she's acting a bit weird. So he thinks she's done it, so he takes the blame. So, they do a good job of making you think. And then there's the moment where she goes to visit him in the jail and she has to leave again. And you think, well, is it because she's so overwhelmed by guilt? Has she done this because she can't take revenge on the guy who raped her? But she could take revenge on this guy who killed her boyfriend's sister, who she was also a good friend of. We understand that she was a bridesmaid at the wedding and all that kind of thing. Is that, I never saw the twist coming at all. I quite like that. I like it when it's the last thing that you expect. It's rare these days, I think,
Yeah, I was not expecting that and didn't see that coming. You're right. Completely kind of like, oh my God. As I was watching it and I was like making my notes and I was writing down like, holy shit, they're brother and sister. And then one of the characters says, they were brother and sister. I'm like, oh my God. Like I did not see that coming at all. Yeah. But yeah, quite a twist and really well done. And you're right. It doesn't happen a lot now that there is some sort of twist that you're like, I did not see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I have to admit that was very well done.
Yeah, really, really good. I can't remember the last time something like that caught me out, because I think as well, normally now when these sort of things are written, by the time you're closing in on the big reveal, it's almost like the writer can't hold their water and they have to sort of just give you more kind of broader clues that sometimes give the game away. But with these guys, I really feel like they kept their powder dry right till the very last minute.
Yeah. Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. They obviously have good form because they did The Missing, which was also great with James Nesbitt prior to this one. I remember I really enjoyed that, the first series. I don't think I watched the second series, though. But yeah, I did enjoy. But yeah, like I say, there's a couple of elements here that I did think, was that needed? There's a couple of things that I think are a little bit of a stretch, but I guess sometimes you need something like that for all the pieces to fall into place. But you're right, they did a really good job of keeping the reveal until, towards the end. And it was a bit of a shock. And I thought it was very well delivered in terms of the way it's revealed. It's not like everyone's sitting down. I mean, yes, obviously, Bill does give the explanation whilst he's outside about to blow his head off in front of Gilly Gilchrist. But I think that's needed as well. But I thought the reveal, it relied on the audience being clever enough to pick it up and not batter them over the head with it initially. Yeah. Which I really liked. And I do like that when a show does have faith in the audience effectively and trust them.
Yeah, and maybe that's the purpose of the pacing. You know what I mean? Like, because it is as slow as the second episode is. It does give you time to understand a bit more about the characters and how really any of the Elliots and the Douglases, apart from Claire and obviously Peter, because he was in London, could have committed the murder, or could it have been Anna? Could it have been Alistair? Did Alistair have a reason for doing it? When he starts blackmailing Bill, is that because of, has he already tried something else to get money off them? And this Lee Walsh has been involved, and Adam and Grace were never supposed to be killed, and it's gone awry or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It just gets your mind kind of going.
Do you think though that so Bill is racked with this emotion of knowing Adam and Grace are brother and sister. He's had to watch them get married. They're on honeymoon. Adam's calling him, and he's pissed, and then gets robbed, and ends up paying the robber to kill Adam. Yeah, and do you not think he'd have woken up and been like, oh fuck, I was pissed last night and I've done something. Shit, did I ordered a hit on my son-in-law? Fuck. Oh, I need to sort that out. Do you not think you would? Why logically, that is the correct thing to do? But I that was a little bit, not odd, but yeah, I don't know. Would that really be the next go-to of, just get him killed? Is that the... Because he seems okay with it, really. I mean, obviously he's upset his daughter's died as well, but he seems okay with his decision to do what he did.
Well, this is it. I mean, he's, I think we're supposed to assume that Bill is not quite himself as a result of the Parkinson's, is incredibly religious, has known for 20 years that his wife puts it about, and he's done something that he wouldn't normally do. However, you think he would say, if there's a woman there, fucking do not touch her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I suppose, to be fair, like, there is that they sort of set that up where he thinks that Adam's at home by himself because he phones Grace. And she says that, she gives him some excuse for not seeing him, and he thinks that she's away for a few days or something, she's not around. Mm-hmm. So he's like, this is my chance, Adam's there by himself, I'll send this guy in to do him in. And obviously Grace just can't be arsed with her dad's Bible-thumping fucking bollocks. Or doesn't want to speak to him because Adam's told her what her dad's told him or something like that. And she's like, I can't believe you say that, I don't want to speak to him or whatever, whatever it might be. And he's basically fucked it.
In quite a spectacular fashion in terms of daughter and son-in-law dead, grandchild dead, and that's a bit of a pickle to get yourself in just after a few beers. I'm sure you regretted that. I did like the other thing that I kind of wondered. You have Chris Fulton as Jay, the drug dealer, a slight departure from his character of Ferg in Stonemouth that we saw him in previously. Why is he always calling Laura Fraser grandma? That's just she's not that old.
She's not even like she looks old. She's sort of trapped in her 20s, Laura Fraser. She doesn't look old at all.
But he's kind of saying it in like a sexy way, like he'd like to have a little bit of grandma. I think, I don't know, but that struck me as a bit odd, and it's never explained or never gone into why he's calling her that.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a bit. Maybe like Laura Fraser wasn't the first choice. Maybe the first choice for the role was Barbara Rafferty or somebody like that, and Barbara Rafferty with a late in life baby,
So Peter, they moved to Scotland. Obviously, Rob and Claire, I guess, had been born before they moved to Scotland. And then Adam comes along. And, Grace. No, Grace is the... No, Adam, yeah.
Adam, yeah. He's the other Elliot.
Comes along. And why have they all got English accents?
Well, I took that. I think they're English people that have moved to the neighbourhood, and when they were little, when Adam was little, and the big kids have kept their accents, because Adam has a Scottish accent, doesn't he?
Does he? He's got a bit of an English accent when you do hear him, but
so that's a plummy Edinburgh accent.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But even Claire and Rob, like, they would have moved. They're not that much older than Adam was, so they would have maybe been, I don't know, let's say 3, 4. Would they not have a Scottish accent? Like, you would think.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Because Vanderham is Scottish.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it's not like it's just Joe Dempsey's obviously English, Juliet Stevenson is as well, and Adrian Emerson. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird. It's a bit of an odd choice. And then you got John Lynch, Irish and playing Irish, and the rest of his family Scottish. So I don't know. Maybe they're just people who moved to the. It's supposed to be the Highlands, but it was actually filmed in the Borders. It was filmed near Peebles. I did think it looked a bit flat to be the Highlands, like when the cameras like zoom. I mean, the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. Yeah. But when the camera's zooming around the landscape, I thought it's supposed to be near Inverness, according to the script. It feels a wee bit flat,
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. It did a little bit. But you're right, the scenery is beautiful, and it does add to like kind of like a haunting tone to the show, which it does feel quite atmospheric. And it has this kind of like, it's almost like a wounded kind of sheen to it in terms of the darkness and the storm, and then obviously all of the setting and stuff. It does have a really kind of haunting feel to it, which I think the countryside definitely is a huge part of that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely showcasing it's one of our maybe something that should go in the UNESCO list of things, just like amazing vistas that we have in Scotland. So no, I mean, I think it sort of lends to that air of isolation, doesn't it? And because like you don't see, it's not clear how far away from the Douglases and the Elliots Alistair and Sal live. You know what I mean? It's not clear how far away the pub is where they go for the wake after the funeral. And all that kind of thing. It's all, you do feel like it's just these two houses next to each other in the middle of nowhere. And hence maybe why the characters maybe feel either consciously or subconsciously they've got this kind of license to kind of take matters into their own hands and they'll get away with it, because there's no one around. Apart from Gilly Gilchrist, who makes a welcome appearance a couple of the first episode and the last episode,
It is. I agree. It does add to kind of the isolation, and it is a bit unclear as to all the locations and where they are. We know, obviously, it's 10 hours away from where Peter is now living, because he's sets off on his drive once he puts it in the sat nav, and off he goes. But he never makes it, unfortunately. No.
So he sits on the hard shoulder on the M8. Which you're not allowed to do. He says, "Oh, I never knew that the sun rising over the M8 would be so beautiful." You're like, you can't stop on the fucking M8. And if you're on the M8, you're not going to Inverness because you come up the M1, M6, M74, then you go across the Scotch corner, up the A1 past Edinburgh, then up the A9. Don't go anywhere near the fucking M8.
Well, maybe he got lost and that's why he decided to throw himself in front of a truck.
He maybe just wanted to see what the sunrise was like on the M8, but I'm pretty sure that the police might have come round and asked him what he thought he was doing, sitting on the hard shoulder on the M8 for hours on end.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, very true indeed.
So, I can't shake the feeling that this was maybe supposed to be the beginning of a longer running series. Like the fact that Laura Fraser's character is, she essentially gets away with it, right? She's committed like a very, very serious crime in stealing evidence from a locker, selling it to a drug dealer. A teenage girl has then died as a result of taking said drugs. And despite the fact that she's done it out of desperation, traditionally in narrative, she would have to pay the piper for that. You know what I mean? There would be some kind of consequence. So the fact that she effectively manages to get away with it made me think, right, they must have been thinking of a next series where there'd be some kind of resolution of this, because she can't just get away with it. You know what I mean? It needs to be dealt with. The whole Anna and Rob thing, they sort of break up when he comes out of jail. You know what I mean? It was going down the toilet anyway before this rape, and you stuck by me, and I don't need to be protected anymore, blah, blah, blah. So that's sort of, there's that, you never really know, well, are they finished? Is it going to continue? You don't know what happens to Bill. He goes off to jail, we assume. The whole, so there's a lot of threads left sort of blow. We don't know what's going to happen to Claire, because Claire has, she says to Meredith, doesn't she, well, I'm probably going to jail anyway. So she still needs to face the music for being, well, they all do. Her, Moira, they all need to face the music for their involvement in burying the body of Lee Walsh in the car. So all that is sort of left a bit ambiguously. So I do think that maybe there was a plan, maybe Juliet would be the lead character, as a sort of disgraced policewoman. And, maybe she still has some kind of interaction with some of these characters and we find out what happens to them,
Yeah, it's almost like a series 2 of Broadchurch, like it's a court case. And
exactly. That's a good comparison, actually, because the guys who produced this are the Williams, Harry and Jack Williams, and they're so far as doing like quality drama for the BBC, they've got a really good track record. They've done things like Hotel Babylon, Call the Midwife, Fleabag, The Tourist, which I've not seen but I'm told was very, very good. All sorts of stuff. So they're like, they're sort of highly respected writers and producers. I really felt that, and I know The Missing has been massive. I haven't watched it, right? But I know it's absolutely massive. It's been massive for the BBC. The Missing, and so is Fleabag. So I don't know. Maybe there was a plan to string it out for a bit longer.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Wrap up some of these loose ends.
Yeah, well, they'll just have to be loose ends forever, unfortunately.
So, hopefully you've all watched One of Us / Retribution before you've heard us talk about it. Is it time to put it through our Swally Awards?
I think it certainly is, Greg. Let's do it. What have we got up first?
So, as always, our first award is the Bobby the Barman Award for the best pub. I think I'm going to the pub where the wake's held. But not when there's a wake on.
It did look like a nice pub. Did you see the name of the pub?
I probably, but it has fallen out of my head.
It was called the Sheephead Inn.
Ah, yes.
And it was spelled H-E-I-D. And I did like that a lot. Yeah, it was a nice looking pub. Yeah, definitely. I would like to go for a pint there. But I agree, not when there's a wake.
Not when there's a wake, no. Although apparently, according to the, what was it called, Shoot for the Sun, apparently if you go into the pub when there's a wake on, the brother has to buy everybody a drink. So maybe
that's very true.
The right time to go.
Very true.
Next award then is our James Cosmo Award for being everything Scottish. I've narrowed it down to 3 for me.
Okay.
I've gone Lewis, Dicky, Gilchrist. Did you have any of those?
I've got Lewis and Gilchrist. Yeah,
right,
it's my 2. Yeah, Dickie, yes, is in with a shout as well. But yeah, I've gone with Lewis and Gilchrist for that award.
Okay. Next award then, the Jake McQuillan Your Tease Out Award. What did you go for here?
I went with Aid Edmondson getting hit by the truck. I think that's the kind of, that seemed to be the tease out for me. What about you? Anything else?
Well, I had that in terms of just I didn't expect it until I saw him walking into the road. You know what I mean? I thought I was going back in the car. I was like, fucking hell. But also a bit we mentioned to Rob giving Lee a doing. Finds him trying to run away. Next one then, you just kind of touched on this already. Not a great deal of this, but the Francis Begbie Award for gratuitous swearing. All I had was Adam's recorded message of how fucking dare you, Bill. That was the only kind of F-bomb that sort of jumped out to me.
Yeah, that was it. That was the only F-bomb in the show. I went with, I just found it amusing. It was Andrew's delivery of it. I think it's the start of the second episode. And he says, "This is the shittest petrol station I've ever been to." And I just, it made me laugh. I think it was the delivery of it as well. So yeah, I went with that for my best use of swearing.
Next one, the Hugh McGregor Award for gratuitous nudity. We do see Julie Graham's thighs as Alistair's on the vinegar strokes.
So nearly that, but thankfully they're covered. So yes, we didn't get to see anything there.
Gary Lewis's round shoulders. Next one then, archetypal Scottish moment.
When Rob is following the rapist, there is he does walk up the Royal Mile with all the tourist shops. So yeah, I went with that. I mean, obviously I went initially with just all the scenery and stuff, but I went with the tourist shops. I thought that was particularly.
I went with the scenery. But the tourist shops are equally good shout. And then finally, then the Sean Connery Award. Who wins One of Us / Retribution for you?
As I said earlier, Kate Dickie's character of Sal's the only one that actually wins.
She wins the plot. Yeah,
wins the plot. In terms of who won for me, I kind of struggled with this. I've given it to John Lynch. Because I thought Vanderham's great. Yeah. Fraser's great as well. But I gave it to John Lynch. What about you?
I give it to Lynch / Vanderham because I do think she's the only kind of character that you root for, I think, in it. You know, she's the one that's, you know, probably more so than Laura Fraser's character, Juliet. She's the one that's really kind of piecing it all together. She's the one that all the revelations come through. You know, she discovers them. She discovers the affair. She discovers that Adam and Grace were brother and sister, and you know all these things. She's the one that kind of endures all that, and we learn through her. And you know, she's a good actress, Joanna Vanderham. I think a really good actress. You know, like this performance is about 100 miles away from her. It's Amanda Drummond in Crime, and she plays that sort of cold character in that, doesn't she? And very serious kind of businesswoman who's also stalking her ex-boyfriend. True. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that's One of Us. As I mentioned at the start of the pods, you can get it on the BBC iPlayer. You can get it on probably Amazon, definitely the Apple Store. and I'm sure there's a few less honest ways of coming by it as well, if you want to go and search for them. So one of us was My Choice, made for a Fraser/Ortega double back to back, which means that it comes to you again to pick the movie or TV show for our next film, our next pod. So what are we getting into?
No Fraser or Ortega in the next episode, I'm afraid, Greg, but I do have a lovely, wonderful Scottish double act coming up. So I'd like to cover a TV movie from 1990 on the next episode. Directed by Michael Winterbottom. It stars Ewan Bremner and Brian McCarty and tells the story of two Scottish squaddies off on leave to Budapest to see a Simple Minds concert. On the way, they meet a beautiful Hungarian girl and a love triangle begins. Available on YouTube and coming in at 1 hour and 10 minutes, Greg. It is called
Perfect.
Forget About Me.
Oh, okay. I've never seen it, so I'm looking forward to watching that.
Yeah. No, I've never seen it either. I haven't watched it, but I saw it was available on YouTube. Word of warning, if anyone's watching it, the first minute and 20 seconds, there's no sound on the video. It's because they were playing, I'll go into this in the next episode, but they're playing John and Yoko Ono, Merry Christmas, the War is Over. For some reason, copyright, that's muted, but the rest of the episode is there in perfect quality. So,
cool.
Yep, 1990s Forget About Me on the next episode of the Culture Swally. Right, well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can. You can email us, cultureswally@gmail.com, with any requests, any recommendations, or any news stories that you've seen. Or if you just want to say hello, just drop us a line. We are on Insta at Culture Swally Pod, and we have a wonderful website as well, don't we, Greg?
We do. You can find us at you'll find us at cultureswally.com with links to our socials, links to all the episodes, all 125 episodes at this stage, and some blog posts and articles about Scottish media and culture.
Lovely stuff. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time at Comic-Con tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, look forward to hearing all about it and see what who you get to see and if you get to meet anyone interesting.
Yeah, well, I should get to meet Natalia Dyer since I'll be chaperoning my daughter. But apart from that, don't know if I'll meet anyone else.
Wonderful. Right, well, enjoy your weekend, and until next time.
Until next time.
One of us did this. One of us. Right here. Now, do we want that person going to prison? Because of him?